You know those mornings, right? The alarm just doesn't go off. You're rushing like crazy. Maybe you spill coffee all down your shirt just as you're heading out the door.
Oh, yeah? Been there.
And the commute feels like, I don't know, some kind of personal test you're failing. You finally get where you're going, feeling completely frazzled, sort of defeated before the day's even properly started.
Mm-hmm.
Total chaos. And then someone, maybe it's a colleague, maybe just a friend you bump into, they catch your eye and say something really simple.
Yeah, like what?
Like, hey, that presentation yesterday, incredibly clear. Or, wow, that shirt color really suits you. Or maybe they just notice the struggle and say, rough morning, huh? You handled getting here like a champ.
Oh, okay.
And what happens? Right in that moment, it's like your shoulders drop just a tiny bit. There's this little spark inside. Your whole mood just shifts sometimes, like dramatically.
It's that feeling, isn't it? That sudden sense of being seen, like someone actually noticed you or your effort and acknowledged it,
Yeah.
valued it. And it feels so powerful, almost like it's out of proportion to the actual words spoken.
Out of proportion. That's the perfect phrase. What is it about a few simple words that has this almost magical ability to turn a moment, maybe even your whole morning, around?
Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today.
Right. This deep dive is all about that seemingly simple, but actually pretty profound act of giving and receiving compliments. Appreciation. We're not just talking, empty flattery.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
We're talking about genuine acknowledgement and the ripple effects it has.
We've pulled together a whole stack of really fascinating material for this, looking at the science, the psychology behind it, reading through personal experiences people have shared, and also digging into how this plays out in professional settings.
Yeah, it's a really multifaceted thing when you look closely. A very sort of universal human interaction, but with lots of layers.
So our mission today, really dig into the why. Why does appreciation have this power? What's happening in our brains and our hearts when we connect through positive words?
And critically, offer some, practical insights, things you can actually use to get better at both giving and receiving compliments, to kind of unlock their full potential for boosting happiness, well-being, not just for you, but for people around you too.
Yeah, exactly. It's a journey, right? From brain chemicals to deep personal connections.
Let's start right there, actually. Under the hood, what's happening inside our brains.
Okay, let's unpack this. That little lift you feel, that warmth, that sort of aha moment when someone says something genuinely nice about you or something you did. What is actually going on in there, chemically speaking?
Well, it really boils down to some pretty fundamental brain chemistry. And the star player here, it's dopamine.
Ah, dopamine, the famous one, the feel-good chemical, the reward neurotransmitter.
That's the one. Dopamine is produced in key brain areas, and it's, fundamentally linked to feeling positive, happy, motivated. It's the core of our brain's reward system.
Which is there to encourage behaviors we need, right? For survival, for thriving.
Precisely. So when you get a genuine compliment, your brain sees that as a positive stimulus.
Yeah.
It triggers those reward pathways to ramp up dopamine production and release.
Oh, okay.
And that little surge of dopamine, that's what creates that temporary but definitely noticeable feeling of pleasure, satisfaction. Your brain is basically saying, yes, that felt good. Let's have more of that kind of interaction.
And this is where it gets really fascinating based on the science we looked at. It's not just a vague, good feeling. They've actually done brain scans, right?
They have. Neuroimaging studies show something really striking. Receiving a compliment activates the exact same specific brain areas. We're talking the ventral striatum and the ventral medial prefrontal cortex that light up when someone gets a monetary reward.
Wait, really? Like getting paid?
Exactly like getting paid in terms of which parts of the brain get excited. Think about that for a second.
Wow.
Your brain processes a few sincere words of appreciation using the very same machinery it uses for getting actual money. It's like your brain assigns a similar immediate reward value to social acknowledgement as it does to financial gain.
That really puts the power of words into perspective. It's not just subjective, it's biological.
It absolutely is. There's a tangible biological reason why being appreciated feels good and why it motivates us. It's tapping into a really deep-seated reward mechanism.
Okay, so that explains the receiver's brain boost. But what about the person giving the compliment? Is it just altruism, or do they get something out of it too?
Oh, that's such a crucial point. It is absolutely not a one-way street. Giving appreciation is mutually rewarding, right down to the brain chemistry.
Really? How does that work?
When you choose to do something kind, and giving a genuine compliment is a perfect example, you're giving your own brain a nice little boost too.
So the giver gets a hit of those good chemicals as well.
Precisely. The act of expressing kindness, of appreciating someone, it stimulates the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin, which helps with well-being, calmness, and yes, more dopamine in the giver's brain. It lights up those pleasure and reward centers for you too, just for doing the kind act. So the insight here is pretty profound. Giving a compliment can actually be just as beneficial for you as it is for the person receiving it.
That's fantastic. It creates this positive feedback loop. Your brain literally rewards you for being kind.
Exactly. It reinforces the behavior.
Yeah.
Makes you more likely to do it again.
It really reframes it, doesn't it? It's not just something you do for someone else, it's something you do with them and for yourself too. And this whole idea of appreciation, compliments, it connects to a broader concept we saw a lot about, gratitude.
Absolutely. Compliments are like specific expressed instances of appreciation, and they fall under that bigger umbrella of gratitude. Yeah. Gratitude itself is often defined simply, as thankfulness, appreciation.
Yeah.
But the material we looked at, like from the International Journal of Indian Psychology, really emphasized that gratitude is much more complex than just a fleeting emotion.
More than just saying thanks.
Much more. It can be seen as a moral virtue, an attitude, even a habit you cultivate. For some people, it's more of an ingrained personality trait, and it can even function as a coping response when things get tough.
So it's active, something you can work on.
Exactly. It's a core character strength, and it's consistently linked to higher life satisfaction, better overall well-being. Thinking of it as a habit or a practice means you can actually strengthen it over time.
Okay.
And actively practicing gratitude, which includes noticing good things and expressing appreciation, like through compliments, has been shown time and again to positively influence mental health, both directly and indirectly. It's a powerful tool.
That connection to mental health feels like the perfect place to explore the wider impact. Why does appreciation really matter on a bigger scale? Let's dive into that, starting with, our own individual well-being.
Right. This is where practicing gratitude, which really encompasses feeling and expressing appreciation, shows its profound psychological benefits. It's seen as absolutely fundamental in positive psychology for overall well-being.
And there's solid research behind this.
Oh, tons of it. Really compelling. Study after study shows gratitude is strongly, positively related to better well-being, higher life satisfaction across different cultures, different age groups. When people actively do things to cultivate gratitude, maybe keeping a gratitude journal or making a point to express appreciation to others, it directly links to positive outcomes. More happiness, more optimism, a greater sense of satisfaction with life.
So it's not just a feeling, it's something you can actively generate through practice.
Exactly. And it's not just about increasing the good stuff. It's also a powerful counterforce to negativity. It acts almost like an antidote to stress, to worry, to those negative thought spirals we can get into.
How does it do that?
By deliberately shifting your focus. When you make an effort to notice and appreciate the positive things, even the small ones, you're essentially training your brain to look for the good. This builds psychological resilience.
Resilience. So you can cope better.
Right. It helps you handle challenges, setbacks, everyday stress without getting completely derailed. And some research even shows specific gratitude practices can lead to measurable decreases in anxiety and depression symptoms.
Like writing gratitude letters. Was that one of the examples?
Yes, exactly. That's a great illustration. Studies where people wrote and sometimes delivered gratitude letters to someone who'd made a positive difference in their lives showed significant increases in the writer's happiness and well-being and decreases in anxiety and depression.
So the expression is key, not just feeling thankful internally.
It seems to be a really important component. It reinforces that two-way street of appreciation we talked about.
Yeah.
The outward act amplifies the internal benefit.
That's fascinating.
It really highlights how connected our social and emotional lives are. Expressing gratitude doesn't just benefit the other person. It solidifies the positive emotion within you. It helps you build this mental framework, this lens, that's more optimistic, more appreciative of the good things, big and small.
And you tend to be happier overall if you're noticing the positives.
Generally, yes. People who focus on and remember the good tend to report being more pleased with their lives.
And how does all this gratitude, appreciation affect how we see ourselves, our self-esteem?
Another strong link. It definitely boosts self-esteem and self-confidence. Think about how those develop. Self-esteem, feeling good about yourself, and self-confidence, believing realistically in your abilities, they don't just appear out of nowhere.
Right.
They need repetitive, positive, realistic experiences. And genuine compliments, they provide exactly those experiences. Each sincere compliment acts like a piece of positive data, confirming your value, your skills, your positive impact.
Like building blocks for self-worth.
Precisely. Over time, accumulating these positive affirmations helps build a stronger internal sense of worth and competence. And neurologically, fMRI studies back this up too. Feeling and expressing gratitude activates brain areas involved in morality, reward, judgment, suggesting it's tied into some really high-level cognitive stuff.
It really makes a strong case for making appreciation and gratitude a regular, deliberate practice.
Well,
Okay. So beyond the individual benefits, how does appreciation shape our connections with others, our relationships?
oh, it's absolutely fundamental there. Genuine compliments, expressing appreciation, they're essential tools for starting connections, building rapport, and crucially, improving communication in existing relationships. The sources consistently highlighted that having an appreciative disposition, like being inclined to feel and express gratitude, is significantly linked to stronger, more satisfying, and longer-lasting relationships for everyone involved.
We saw some really great specific examples of this, especially in partnerships.
Yes, those were very telling. Think about having a tough conversation with your partner. Afterwards, just saying, "I really felt heard and seen during that talk," is incredibly powerful appreciation.
Yeah, that acknowledges their effort.
Exactly. Their empathy, their willingness to engage, even when it's difficult, it validates that behavior and encourages more of it. Or appreciating their patience when they're helping someone else, like, helping their dad figure out his new phone for the 10th time.
Yes.
Saying you appreciate their patience shows you notice and value their time and kindness, even when it's not directed at you.
And acknowledging how their support makes you feel.
Super important. Like the example of loving your partner's reassurance when something goes wrong. Maybe a work setback. Saying your reassurance really helps me feel less stressed and more confident highlights the specific positive impact they have on your emotional state.
That's very specific.
It is. Or an even deeper one. Sharing that you feel safe being vulnerable with them, that's not about one action. It acknowledges the ongoing trust and emotional safety they've cultivated in the relationship.
Yeah.
These specific acknowledgments articulate the value the other person brings. They build intimacy and trust way more effectively than just saying, "You're great."
It goes deeper than surface praise. And circling back to self-esteem, getting that kind of specific appreciation from someone close must be particularly powerful.
Absolutely. Within close relationships, compliments act as constant validation. Remember, self-esteem needs those repetitive positive experiences. When a partner, friend, or family member offers genuine, specific compliments, they're providing those crucial building blocks, reinforcing that sense of being valued, capable, loved for who you are. It's vital, especially in relationships where you're naturally more vulnerable.
Okay, so huge impacts, personally, relationally. Let's shift gears now to a place where many of us spend a lot of time, the workplace. What does appreciation, like employee recognition, look like there? And what kind of impact does it have?
Right. In the workplace context, employee recognition, basically, any way companies formally or informally acknowledge contributions and show appreciation isn't just a nice extra. It's consistently shown to be a cornerstone of successful, healthy workplace cultures.
So the stakes feel higher than just making someone's day.
Oh, significantly higher. Fundamentally, workplace recognition is about making sure employees feel seen, heard, and genuinely appreciated for their effort, their skills, their commitment. One source used a great analogy. Think of a strong building. Its strength relies on every single supporting beam, every brick, every window doing its job properly. Recognition is like acknowledging the vital role of each beam, each brick. It highlights how everyone's work matters to the whole structure.
I like that. It emphasizes everyone's essential contribution. So, okay, does this translate into actual business results? Do we have numbers on this?
We absolutely do. The data, especially from sources like Lumaps that track recognition stats, is really compelling. It quantifies the huge value. Take engagement, for instance. Recognized employees are way more engaged. Studies show they're up to 7 times more likely to be fully engaged compared to employees who rarely get recognized.
7 times. That's massive. That's a huge difference in effort and connection.
It is. And that engagement leads to other things, like loyalty and retention. About 79% of employees say they feel more loyal to their company when they feel consistently recognized.
And does it actually make people work harder, perform better.
Yes, the data points strongly that way. 69% of employees flat out say they'd work harder if they felt their efforts were appreciated more.
Wow, almost 70%.
Yeah, and over 40% of U.S. workers surveyed said they'd put more energy into their jobs if they got recognized more often. This isn't just a feeling. It translates to real performance gains. Recognition programs can boost productivity by around 14%.
Okay, 14% productivity boost. What about just being happier at work? Job satisfaction?
Extremely strong link there. For people recognized daily, job satisfaction is incredibly high, like 94%. Plus, consistent recognition is a powerful buffer against burnout.
Ah, burnout. That's huge right now.
It is. Recognized employees are reportedly 73% less likely to feel burnout frequently. It helps sustain people, makes them feel valued, even when things are tough.
Which has to impact whether people stay or leave.
Yeah.
Right. Turnover is so expensive.
Exactly. And this is where recognition has a massive, measurable impact. Companies with effective recognition programs see voluntary turnover rates drop significantly, potentially by 31%.
31% lower turnover.
Yeah. And employees who feel well recognized are 45% less likely to leave within the next 2 years compared to those who don't. And maybe the most telling stat, 66% of employees, 2/3, say they'd consider quitting if they didn't feel appreciated.
Whoa. So lack of appreciation is a major reason people actually leave jobs, not just a minor annoyance.
Absolutely. It's often cited right up there as a top reason. And for companies, avoiding that turnover through recognition saves a lot of money. Replacing an employee can cost anywhere from 40% to sometimes even 400% of their annual salary.
Ouch, that's a huge cost.
So investing in recognition is basically a strategy to avoid those massive costs.
So it's not just about people feeling good, it directly impacts the bottom line, business results.
Precisely. Organizations that do recognition well aren't just nicer places to work, they're more successful. They're reportedly 12 times more likely to have strong business results, better shareholder returns.
12 times?
Yeah. It's not a fluffy nice to have. It's a strategic imperative with a clear, measurable ROI. Some studies showed returns ranging from 93% up to nearly 700%.
Wow. So for every dollar spent on recognition, companies get significantly more back.
That's the idea. It drives engagement, loyalty, productivity, retention, reduces burnout, and ultimately boosts the bottom line. It's a critical business strategy, not just an HR perk.
That data really hammers it home. Appreciation isn't soft stuff, it's fundamental. Okay, so if it's this powerful, personally and professionally, how do we get better at actually giving compliments and recognition effectively? It sounds simple, but the sources suggest there's an art to it.
There definitely is an art to making it land well and have real impact.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest takeaways is moving beyond just generic praise.
Like just saying good job or nice work.
Exactly. That's nice, it's polite, but it often lacks punch. It doesn't really make people feel seen for who they are or what they specifically did well. To be truly effective, you need to be more attentive, more specific, more detailed, put a little nuance and care into it.
Specificity, that seems
Yeah.
key. You have to say what was good.
Absolutely crucial. Vague praise doesn't tell someone what to repeat or what specific behavior was valued. You need to explain what they did well, and just as importantly, why it mattered. What was the positive impact?
Right.
Especially at work, linking their specific action or achievement back to broader team or company goals really highlights their contribution.
Can we walk through an example, the difference between generic and specific?
Sure. Let's say someone, Sarah, gave a presentation.
Yeah.
Instead of just, good job on the presentation, Sarah, which is okay.
But not great.
Right. A much better, more specific compliment would be something like, Sarah, your quick thinking during the Q&A, especially when you addressed that tricky client concern, that was invaluable. You really prevented a potential issue there and showed fantastic problem solving under pressure.
Okay. That tells her exactly what was impressive and why it mattered. Much more impactful.
Exactly. It acknowledges the specific skill and behavior. Now, thinking about what to compliment, the sources mentioned different categories.
Yeah, like looks, possessions, actions, character traits.
Right. But there was an interesting point, I think, from a student perspective in one source, suggesting that compliments about talent or character might often feel more meaningful than comments just on appearance.
Why is that?
Well, the thinking is that talent and character are things people often actively work on, things they cultivate. Complimenting those acknowledges their effort, their growth, their inner qualities, rather than something potentially external or accidental.
That makes sense.
And similarly, at work, effective recognition often ties compliments to core values, like acknowledging someone's innovation, their collaboration skills, their dedication during a crunch time, things that reflect their character and how they contribute to the culture.
So Complementing the how and why, not just the what. What about tailoring it? Does everyone like appreciation shown the same way?
Definitely not. Tailoring is really important. The most impactful appreciation feels personal. Taking a moment to think about what motivates that specific person makes a big difference.
Like public versus private praise?
Exactly. Some people love a public shout-out in a meeting. It makes them feel celebrated. Others would find that incredibly uncomfortable and would much prefer a quiet thank you email or a quick word in private, knowing that preference makes the gesture resonate more.
Okay, tailor it. What about timing? Should you save it up?
No, generally act quickly. Recognition usually has the most impact when it's given promptly after the positive action or behavior. Don't wait for the annual review. If you see something great, acknowledge it soon. It reinforces the link between the action and the appreciation.
And frequency, just for big wins.
Absolutely not. Make it regular. Recognize smaller wins, consistent effort, a great attitude, helpfulness. Making appreciation a daily or weekly habit builds a much stronger culture, whether that's at home or at work. Some workplace advice even suggests aiming for praise every 7 days or so.
Every week? That sounds like a lot.
It sounds like a lot, but it's about building a recognition-rich environment. Look for genuine opportunities are usually there if you pay attention.
Let's brainstorm some examples across different contexts based on what we read. Friends, partners, family, work.
Okay. For friends, instead of just, you're smart, maybe admire their unique perspective. Like, I love how you think about X. It really makes me see things differently. Or, your take on that actually made me want to live more thoughtfully.
That's nice. It shows their impact on you.
Exactly. For partners, those examples we touched on earlier are great. I felt so heard and seen when we talked through that tough issue. Acknowledging empathy. I really appreciate your patience helping your dad with his phone again. Acknowledging kindness. Your reassurance when I was stressing about X honestly helped me feel less stressed and more confident. Acknowledging emotional support. Or the big one. I feel so safe being vulnerable with you. Acknowledging the trust they've built.
Those are powerful because they're so specific about the feeling and the action. What about family?
Well, one point that came up was that sometimes we forget to compliment family members. We might take them for granted. So making a conscious effort to offer simple, genuine compliments more often within the family can really strengthen those bonds. Don't assume they know you appreciate them.
Good reminder. Okay, workplace examples. Managers to their team.
Yeah, lots of good manager examples. Your dedication to finishing project really made the difference. The way you handled that challenge was impressive and resourceful. You bring such precision to your analysis. Your commitment to mentoring the new hires is valued. Your proactive approach saved us time. It's great seeing your growth in specific skill. Your work on report was excellent, clear, and insightful. Appreciate your unique perspective. Your willingness to help out last minute showed real teamwork. You consistently exceed expectations with task.
Those are great templates for specific feedback and peer-to-peer.
Just as important, can be less formal. Quick shout-outs in meetings, a thank you on Slack or Teams, a quick, hey, great job on that message, or just a face-to-face, thanks so much for helping me, I really appreciate it, builds camaraderie.
It really does sound like giving good compliments is a skill, but an accessible one.
Totally accessible. You don't need special training. Just cultivate the habit of noticing the good stuff and then take a moment to say it, sincerely and specifically. It's such a powerful free tool we all have.
Okay, giving them feels good, does good, huge impact. But let's flip the coin. Receiving compliments. For a lot of people, this is surprisingly hard.
It really is. Paradoxically, right? We want validation, but actually getting a genuine compliment can trigger some really uncomfortable feelings for many people.
And this seems strongly connected to what's called the imposter complex.
Yes, that came up repeatedly in the material, especially looking at the psychology of receiving praise, like Tanya Geisler's work. The imposter complex is that nagging feeling that you're not actually as smart or competent or deserving as people think you are.
Right, like you're fooling everyone.
Exactly. So when praise comes along, the imposter complex tells you to ignore it, dismiss it, mistrust it. It tells you it's misplaced, a mistake, or they just don't see the real you yet.
And how does that actually look when someone gives you a compliment?
Often, it's an immediate urge to argue with it, basically, to diminish it. You might launch into all the reasons why it's wrong, like that anecdote about the person complimented on a presentation immediately pointing out a typo, or how they botched the ending, or felt like a fool during Q&A.
Oh yeah, that felt painfully familiar.
It's that knee-jerk reaction. The imposter complex is trying to protect its secret. which is its belief that you're fundamentally inadequate.
It's such a paradox. We want the praise, but then we push it away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Classic imposter complex. Getting too many compliments or the wrong kind, maybe praise that hits too close to home, like about your intelligence, or even just genuine deserved praise can really stir up that inner voice that starts whispering, I'm not that good, or they're just being nice, or the classic, it's only a matter of time before they figure me out.
And you end up doing what was called diminishment.
Right. Actively downplaying yourself. Sometimes it comes from a fear of outshining others, feeling uncomfortable with being seen as too successful. It feels awkward, you stumble over words. Maybe later you came across as cocky because you didn't deflect gracefully. Lots of people share that feeling online.
Or adding caveats, like the person learning to paint who got praised but immediately said, oh, it was from a kit, or I just followed a tutorial.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
As if they don't deserve full credit for the effort and skill they put in. You feel this need to instantly qualify the praise, add disclaimers, make sure the giver doesn't get the wrong idea. And sometimes we mistake this denial for humility. But there's a big difference, right? Between not bragging and not acknowledging your achievements, between boasting and just accepting a compliment, between showing off and just showing up as you are, letting your positive qualities be seen.
That's a really interesting point about humility versus denial. The imposter complex is almost arrogant in assuming you fooled everyone.
It kind of is when you think about it. So if receiving is this tough, what's the graceful way through? What's the simple response?
What did the sources suggest?
Across the board, psychological advice, personal experiences, everyone converged on a surprisingly simple yet often incredibly difficult first step.
Okay, what is it?
Just say, thank you.
That's it. Just thank you.
That's it. Simple. And yet, so hard for many. Apparently, thank you are the two words the imposter complex fears most because they represent simple acceptance, no qualifying, no deflecting, no diminishing. The advice from people who've worked on this is often just accept it gracefully, thank them, and then move on. Don't dwell on it. Don't launch into why they're wrong. Dwelling can feel awkward for everyone involved.
So resist the urge to explain it away.
Exactly. Just receive it. Thank you is enough. People online shared variations that work too, like appreciate that, or thank you, that's kind. Thank you for the kind words. That's so sweet of you. Thanks. Thanks, I appreciate that. Someone pointed out that adding that's kind of you subtly compliments the giver's thoughtfulness too.
Okay, step 1. Say thank you. What's step 2, especially if that imposter voice is loud?
Step 2 is simple to say, but this is where the real internal work happens. Dare to believe them.
Believe the compliment. Believe the person.
Yes. Actively challenge that core imposter assumption that everyone's just being nice or that you've successfully fooled them all. One source suggested this powerful visualization. Imagine lining up every single person who's ever supported you, advocated for you, hired you, complimented you, saw potential in you. Just picture that long line of people. Now, are you really going to tell every single one of them that they were wrong? That they were all mistaken? Or that you're just that good a liar?
Wow. Framed like that, the imposter story sounds pretty unlikely. And yeah, arrogant.
It really does. So daring to believe someone, maybe just one person at first when they tell you something positive about yourself or your work, that's described as a revolutionary act against the imposter complex. It's choosing to accept the positive data points instead of letting that inner critic automatically dismiss them.
So it's a practice. Say thank you, then challenge yourself to actually believe it. Any other quick tips for receiving?
Yeah, a few practical ones. First, just take a breath. Pause for a second to let the compliment land. It's not a debate you need to instantly refute.
Right, breathe.
Second, sometimes it feels natural to add a tiny factual detail about the thing complimented, but without diminishing it. Like,
right.
Thanks. I love this sweater. I found it at a thrift shop.
Yeah.
That adds context without saying, oh, this old thing.
Got it. Don't undermine the compliment.
Exactly. And avoid those instant denials like, oh, it was nothing. And don't feel like you have to immediately return a compliment, especially if it feels forced. A phony compliment doesn't feel good to give or receive. Remember, being a gracious receiver actually brings joy to the giver. When you simply accept their kindness with a sincere thank you, you complete the positive exchange. It's like giving a gift back to them by receiving well.
That really brings it full circle, doesn't it? The connection between giving and receiving.
Absolutely. It's not just separate acts. It's a continuous loop, mutually beneficial. It strengthens connections, personal, family, professional. When you give appreciation, you boost the receiver and yourself. When you receive gracefully, you validate the giver and you reinforce your own self-worth. It creates this virtuous cycle of positivity and stronger relationships.
Wow. Okay, so diving into this really shows that compliments, appreciation, it's way more than just being polite. It's baked into our biology, hitting those reward pathways for both people involved.
And the impact is huge. Enhancing mental health, acting as an antidote to stress, boosting optimism, resilience, self-esteem.
Absolutely fundamental for building strong, trusting relationships, improving communication, deepening bonds.
And critically important at work. Not just nice, but a strategic necessity driving engagement, loyalty, productivity, reducing burnout and turnover, and boosting the bottom line.
We dug into the art of giving effective compliments, needing that specificity, explaining the why, tailoring it, making it timely and frequent.
And we looked to the challenges of receiving, often tangled up with the imposter complex, and learned the power of starting with a simple thank you, and then taking that brave step of daring to believe the good stuff.
It feels like the key lesson woven through everything is pretty clear. Actively practicing appreciation, both giving it thoughtfully and receiving it graciously, isn't just an optional extra. It's a fundamental, scientifically backed way to unlock more happiness, build stronger connections, and create a more fulfilling life and work experience.
It's a real investment in ourselves and the people around us. Requires attention, requires practice, but the payoff in well-being and connection is immense.
So maybe the next time you feel that urge, that genuine spark of appreciation for someone, a colleague's insight, a friend's support, a family member's patience, even just something you like about a stranger, remember the science, remember the impact, and just say it.
Yeah.
And maybe even harder, the next time you receive praise and feel that discomfort, hear that imposter voice pipe up. Remember the simple power of thank you and dare just for a moment to let yourself believe it. What could actually shift in your world or in someone else's if you fully leaned into the happiness of a compliment?